protesting. When they get out of order, they get tear gas and rubber bullets and arrested and so. But peacefully, in almost 50 states or 51 states in America, you see in 95% of them people just protesting. You never see rubber bullets and nothing, and police sending stones and all your foolishness. So that's hypocritical. You come talking like you care about law and order and the citizens of Dominica. When you start to arrest the criminals in government, the ministers of government and people in high places, come and talk to me, and I will aid and abet you. I will assist you in trying to curtail the lawlessness. Because lawlessness cannot be based on who do it, Blackmore and Lincoln Corbett and JJ. There are too many criminals in high places and want us to, our attention to be deflected from them and talk about, people that come and obstruct police and people that bring guns are serious as illegal weapons are. In closing, but when all you come in at people with military fatigue, garments, and battlefield weapons, when last people shot any guns at all you, or you went at Salisbury and shoot people and take gas people, sleeping people, and all you come in and talk all your foolishness? Would you see what I was about to say? I respect the radio station. Thank you, bro.
Blessings. Some strong points there from Blessings. I'm getting that Blessings is saying that there is an issue of trust between the community and the Dominica Police Force to, in fact, get the results that the acting commissioner is asking for. Let's take more calls. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller, you're live. All right, we seem to have lost you there. Please call back. Good morning, caller, you're live.
Good morning, Richie.
Morning, bro.
Yeah, you talked about, Blessings talked about trust, and that's where I have my issue. I do not trust Mr. Blackmore personally. I told him that directly on air. I do not trust the commissioner, and I don't want to get into their record. Everybody knows their record. I frankly just don't trust them. And the fact that they've been dominated by the prime minister, the influence of the prime minister on these people is another place where I just don't trust them, because they're supposed to be acting independently, especially the commissioner or chief of police or whatever title we're giving him.
But my friend, you would agree that in relation to this particular development, this is something that involves the Dominica Police Force, but which affects every single one of us.
Yes, I agree, but you must also understand that you cannot just take these issues in isolation. They've had a bad record for quite a long time right now. When you look at the record of those people in those positions, I consider them unfit to be in those positions because of their record. In other words, it's like everything. When you go for a job interview, they look into your job history, and they're going to make a decision as to whether or not, wait a minute, too many problems in that job history. We can't give that guy this job. And that's what I'm seeing. I don't want to get into the details, but, people know the record. We know the history. I don't want to get into the details, but based on that, no trust. I believe the police force, the Minister of Security should be replaced. You see, that's the problem. The Prime Minister should be replaced, and then the next Prime Minister should get a proper security minister. The Commissioner or Chief of Police should be replaced, and several of these guys who have gotten their way up into that force by political favoritism should be purged out of the police force. Then we will have a respectable force. Until that occurs, we will have an untrustworthy force. And I try to avoid giving an example, but the example of Chusky comes up to mind. You see that situation where Mr. Chusky was brought to Dominica? That one there has broken my trust.
The mannerisms in which he was brought here. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Wow. All right. So I believe the honorable minister is listening. Trust, Honorable Blackmore, trust between the citizens of the Commonwealth of Dominica and the police force is at the forefront of discussion right now. Yes, we will admit this is commendable. This particular scenario is commendable by the brave men and women of the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force. But there's an overarching issue of trust. Caller, you're live.
Yes, good morning to you, Richie. Good morning to all the hardworking men and women of Dominica.
Yes.
Richie, I want to support your last caller with regards to not trusting the present police commissioner. Richie, let's just pick it back. I don't know if you remember this, this guy, this neighbor toxic guy, this jeweler from India that residing in Antigua.
Yes.
When he was abducted and brought to Dominica. Did you remember who was the one waiting to arrest him or to pick him up at the entry?
That would be the previous commissioner along with some high ranking officers. But
No,
actually,
that was Cobbett. That was Cobbett. Cobbett was the main man waiting on him. I mean, to protect 295 is me saying it. Cobbett was one of them waiting on him. So you cannot trust Cobbett, you still cannot trust Blackmore because we know their reputation, we know their past. Although you have to judge people based on their past, but these guys, they have been repeated offenders. I mean, we just need a clean slate at the hem right now, Richie. Take care. God bless you. God bless Dominica.
God bless you. The matter concerning Mehul Choksi. Coincidentally, we will be discussing that on Talk on the Block in length. We'll be doing that sometime tomorrow. Some updates have surfaced, and we think it's important that you know what's happening. What's the latest with that ongoing scenario? Let's take some more calls. We are talking about the recent seizure by the Dominica Police Force of some 42 firearms at the ports of entry and an additional 7. Good morning, caller, you're live.
That is what I tell you just touch on. A couple years ago, with a barrel, a blue barrel, according to Tony said a blue barrel. We never see color the barrel, but Tony said it was a blue barrel of goods that came into Dominica. Whenever something comes into the port of Dominica, it's supposed to have an address?
Yes.
And the name of the person it's going to?
Yes.
If it's a Jane Doe it's coming to, maybe an address of Jane Doe can be there. So why, when these things come into the country, the police, because number one, from the time they leave the port where they're coming from there, they already done get some update there. That barrel coming down there, and that is its content. Isn't that so?
Yes.
No time these things come in there. They're annoying because when it passes with security on the other side, they can detect what they have, certain things they have in them, and they will update them.
So you're saying that there's probably some inside job going on there, some inside people involved.
Even to that barrel came down here. All we hear was a barrel came down here, set up ammunition in it. Up to now, we never know who the barrel was addressed to. Can Mr. Blackmore tell us that as Minister of Security, because he has been there for a long time? Did he know who the barrels were addressed to?
That's a strong question.
And another note again, another one came down not too long ago. It was intercepted at the port of entry. Who did it come for? Who was supposed to receive it? On whose name did it come? It's supposed to have an address. And the person not supposed to be receiving it. So why does the police and them open up custom, open the package, then inform the people what was in the package without telling them, well, we have an arrest because that coming to so and so. No, that doesn't happen. So it's only after they open it, we know in the come there and who. We never getting to know who they come to. If they come to Mr. Linton, you will know, yeah? Or any member of the United Workers' Party, we would know that. They will tell you that, oh, but hey, before it reached, they would tell you coming to him or for anybody else in the United Workers' Party. But once them things come to the country, we just never know. We just get into here. 6 guns, how many ammunition, how many rifle, how many short gun, how many long gun, how many tall gun came in. Never know who they come into, why they came. But we're in serious trouble in our country. And we can't trust these people. I'm not going to trust JJ. Number one, when according to all these people get their position and their job, you can't trust them. And I'm going to trust Corbett based on what incident took place at the convent with that young man. I can never trust that man. No way. I can't trust him. Because people say they're not trustworthy. As for the man they have as the head there, arrest from the top. And then we will start to trust all you. Bye-bye.
Wow. Let's take 2 more calls. Caller, you're live.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good morning, brother.
Yes, let me tell you, I want to commend the police and the other authorities for intercepting those firearms and ammunition.
Yes.
Right? But I have a concern about the court. When those people are brought before the court should not be lenient with them, you know. I feel that they're too lenient. You find people with those kind of things, just find them and then let them go. There should be in the law fine and consign so that they can stop that nonsense that's happening. I mean, the whole country is at stake. The security of the country is at stake.
Caller, you're making some valid points. I can tell you because I was there at some conferences. The Prime Minister and in some instances the Minister of National Security have made those very same sentiments, where he was saying basically when the police do their work. When they do bad, we say they do bad. But when they do their work and they get these criminals and they seize these weapons and the case is brought before the court, they're saying needs to do more.
Yes. Yeah, they're too lenient. I find that they have to give them the maximum, right? Anyway, have a nice day, sir.
Have a nice day yourself. Take care. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Yeah, Richie, let me just be quick there. Richie, but that's the situation. It's the same corruption that pervades down to the so-called justice system, which I refer to injustice system. Mm-hmm. The Minister of National Insecurity, do not worry him. Blackmore, tell us how much politicians are interfering in the police work, how much they are interfering in the court work. My beloved brother, I was there, 2017. I did not see nothing happen where UWP supporters could be implicated into burning or destroying Roseau. I heard it was Navy SEALs and snipers that were doing it. Richie, you cannot, nobody can take me to court for that. I just tell you, I heard it was Navy SEALs and snipers that were doing that. 8 years, a matter linger in the court for lack of evidence. They could not even file a case. For 8 years, the matter is in court, and then it was thrown out, and they're threatening to file it back again. Well, you know, Matt don't look for Richie is Richie, so we can't blame me like for your man.
It's also herself.
So look at, and its criminal activities over and over. Anthony Wadi Astafan, a senior counselor that, you know, and Roosevelt Skerritt, I calling them by the names, Richie, the Prime Minister of Dominica, colluded or conspired, set up the conspiracy to hack into the Prime Minister email and make his public information submitted to the IPO, his private information submitted to the IPO, made it public. A senior counsel, Anthony Wadi Astafan, and a Prime Minister, Roosevelt Skerritt, as the Prime Minister, the both of them hatched a plan to jail Mr. Linton. And Tony stayed on Kyrie and asked the police to go at Mr. Linton's home because he have the expertise in computers and blah, blah, blah. Obediently, they went. They searched, harassed, terrorized the man and his wife and family. They found no evidence. Further investigation proved that it was Anthony Wadi Astafan and Roosevelt Skerritt who committed the crime against Roosevelt Skerritt. What happened to Tony? What happened to Skerritt? Blackmore, hypocrite, Lincoln Corbett and all of you. If the police are just in the work, Richie, I'll support the police. I'll be backing for them. I'll be talking for them. I'll be catching for them, bowling, everything I'll be doing, helping the police. But the police is playing a double criminal role. Most of them I've been given information, you know, from people within the structure of the police force, how that police force is being operated, you know. Even when you heard Melissa say, they have the Navy SEALs and the snipers, was she even questioned, charged, arrested? If it's me, they will come and say incitement and threat and all terrorists and all kind of thing. So, Richie, when you hear these hypocrites, these two-tongue or fork-tongue or two-faced guys come in and talk, tell them, go and arrest the criminals that are governing this country, plenty of them, with the passport money that disappearing and telling people, oh, we're not the finish sales or the tax money, workers don't have money and want to use your own money to enslave you. My brother, there is too much to say, Richie, but tell Richie, have a blessed day.
Breathe. Drink some water, my friend. Wow. Okay, at this time, we're going to be switching gears. I can understand your frustration. I'm just saying, as one of two of the callers pointed out, this was some commendable work by the police force. Of course, there are overarching issues, and we appreciate you guys bringing that up. But we have to say, a job well done. We expect more. Of course, let me just add, there was a call from the acting commissioner and the Minister of National Security for persons to surrender their illegal firearms. And I guess efforts continue to seize those illegal weapons. So we're shifting gears a bit. Let's take a break. We'll be back.
Set sail this summer. Compliments of Going Places travel. Win 2 ferry tickets to your choice of St. Lucia, Guadeloupe, or Martinique. Book any flight or cruise from June 9th to July 31, and you're automatically entered. Call 448-2550 or visit our office today.
We are Going Places Travel. We're the travel experts, Caribbean's largest travel agency.
Come into any of our offices or visit us at goingplacestravel.com.
Set sail this summer. Compliments of Going Places travel. Win 2 ferry tickets to your choice of St. Lucia, Guadeloupe, or Martinique. Book any flight or cruise from June 9th to July 31, and you're automatically entered. Call 448-2550 or visit our office today.
We are Going Places Travel. We're the travel experts, Caribbean's largest travel agency.
Come into any of our offices or visit us at goingplacestravel.com.
Come June, month end to the first week in July. All roads lead to Scott's Head for the grand Cool Reunion Festival, beginning Friday, June 27th with Sounds of Praise to the Most High. Lively cultural performances, followed by Soir l'Histoire, a night of powerful, topical, juicy history with Dr. Lennox Hunter, followed by the Super Block of finale. Saturday 20th, Sakis Abukabut in spectacular carnival style, followed by Dr. Mika Labadie and Dropping. Sunday 30th, church service, then village festival with the Unstoppable Person Serenade. Tuesday, July 1st, trip to Kalinago Territory. Wednesday, July 2nd, the Domino and Big Money Bingo. Tuesday, July 3rd, beach party and talent night with special guest Franklin Moses. Friday, July 4th, grand dinner and dance. Saturday, 5th, the highly anticipated return of Connect Online with Midnight Movement. Sunday, July 6th, Super Blacko. Extra cold coupon is only $3 for $10. Raffle to include a large screen, smart television, and multiple smartphone devices. Don't miss the Scott's Head Cool Reunion. June month into the first week of July. Sponsored by Belfast Estate, Couplet Bear, DNO, Q95, and Creole Heartbeats. Look at people.
Are
you tired of having the same boring breakfast every morning? Well, Montflake Oats is the healthy and perfect solution just for you. Make your breakfast exciting by adding Montflakes to your pancakes, parfait, or even milkshake. Montflake can be found in different sizes and available in granola such as Caribbean or Hawaiian. Stop worrying about what to prepare for your breakfast, dessert, snack, or even dinner. Montflake is the best addition to your meal. Grab yourself a bag today.
Locally distributed by Fine Foods Inc. and available island-wide.
The views expressed during this program are not necessarily those of Wise Q95 FM Radio. Wise Q95 FM Radio has not been able to independently verify the factual correctness or the allegations and statements made during the course of this program and cannot vouch for their accuracy. Therefore, Wise Q95 FM Radio will not accept any responsibility or liability for the statements or allegations made in the course of this program. My good people, we're back. And I'd like to bring something to your attention. Some concern brought up by a citizen as it relates to Mont Daniel possibly becoming a gated community or private property. This concern was sent to us late Monday. It reads, "Good day. I would like to remain anonymous. I would like to bring attention to a concerning experience I had while driving through Mont Daniel during the course of my work. I was dropping off customers who reside in the community near the main road while wearing my work uniform. After completing the drop-off and proceeding back to work, I suddenly heard sirens blazing behind me. Unsure of the situation, I pulled over to the shoulder of the road. An officer approached my vehicle and forcefully knocked on the window. Once stopped, the person says, the officers proceeded to question him in a manner that felt invasive and unwarranted. Questions along the lines of, open quote, "What are you doing, Mont Daniel?" end quote, without any formal introduction or explanation for the stop. Their tone suggested suspicion rather than routine questioning. As a law-abiding citizen just going about my day, I found the experience distressing and unnecessary. The person is asking, is Mont Daniel now a gated community or becoming private property? That's the question being asked there at this time. Well, as I said before, to my recollection, Mont Daniel is the Mont Daniel Road, sorry, is actually public property. Everyone has access to the road. And if we're going by the actual experience outlined by this person, they were basically just doing their job. Your views at this time. Caller, your live.
Greetings, Richie.
Greetings.
And greetings to Dominica.
Yes.
Richie, I want to make a comment on the recent bust of the guns. Is that possible? I can make a comment on it now?
We're talking about a different scenario, but yeah, go ahead.
No, but if you're not talking about it, I can comment some other time.
That's okay. That's okay.
All right. Well, let me just tell you. I have a different view of what is happening, Richie. Richie, I want to say that I'm happy that these guns are taken off the street.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, not off the street, but they are intercepted before going on the street. Right?
Right.
And we have to be grateful for that. But my understanding is when these things happen, we get intelligence from our counterparts out there. Right? We receive certain intelligence and we deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
However, I believe at this time, the police should be more equipped and more ready and more trained to intercept those guns after they have left the port.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Instead of picking them up at the port with no arrest, no proper investigation, and it just becomes a repeated cycle, right? If we have proper trained officers, these packages would be left there when the people come to pick them up. They'll be followed, and you will pick up the entire ring.
I get
So
you.
that situation is becoming a major problem in Dominica, Richie. It has to stop. Every other week you have another shooting. So what I'm saying is the police, while we boasting and we feel like we're making breakthroughs, we're preventing guns from coming on the street. I'm saying with proper investigations, we can get that to our counterpart if we are interested. The people in the Americas, wherever the guns coming from, every gun that is sold in America, you must have. And you see new guns they have. You must have an ID to buy a gun, Richie. You understand? No matter where you are.
Yeah.
Some states it may be easier. So if we just take the guns and we just decide to catch it, and no further investigation, that problem will continue to happen. But if we were interested in convicting people on the ground, or wherever, the police in Dominica would have gotten involved with their counterparts out there to do some follow-through, follow up the investigations, to see who bought the guns. Whoever bought the guns would be able to say who they're sending it to, where it was sent to, where it was shipped, and everything.
So there's a need to upgrade the investigative process and increase the capacity of those officers.
Say that again?
There's a need to upgrade the investigative process and increase the capacity of those officers.
Very well.
I get
What
you.
is the point? What is the point of having somebody bringing guns over and over and over?
That's a strong point.
When 2 barrels might pass next time, we may not see it. So the threat continues. But if you use that 20 guns you get there, whatever amount there, and you follow back the route, you will be able to eliminate everybody.
True.
And you will be able to bring the culprit to justice. Me, as a young man, I think we have too many guns on that street. Dominica has no use for all those guns. And clearly, some of them will be going further out.
Yeah. But caller, you heard. I mean, even the acting commissioner admitted that the models of the weapons were quite modern, and he basically compared them to the same weapons used in war currently.
Well, yeah, there are some people here who would want to have solid guns, you know. But some of them would be going out further. But my view is, if the commissioner feels that way, this is more reason why he should continue. It is not too late today to continue the investigation, follow back who bought those guns,
I get you.
where they were going to, who it was shipped to, bring everybody in as a ring. The streets of Dominica will not be safe anymore for people. Will not be able to walk the street safely because some people believe once they have a gun in their hand, they're major. You thought they want to get you eliminated. I really believe the police have a lot to do. It is not making a show, oh, we catch 16. And, you know, we have to be a little more proactive. I really believe we've been a little too reactive. Go out there and challenge the situation. The Americans will be more than happy to work with the police. So to beat our test, that is why I tell Raven Blackmore, he has failed. He has failed the country. He has failed national security. Give Raven Blackmore what is his own. I always read him as one of the hardest working parliamentarians in Dominica. I said it several times in public, on radio, everywhere. In terms of working for Mao, in terms of working for his constituency, that is a man you have to respect. But in terms of national security, he has failed and failed miserably. If he cannot get breakthrough in that one, this one cannot follow it up. To get the culprit brought to justice, again, he continues to fail. And the commissioner doesn't need the Minister of National Security to do that. So that must take the man through and follow back and bring the perpetrators to justice. That's my contribution on that. Thank you, Richie.
Thank you, caller. Some strong points there. So, Mr. Commissioner, some recommendations coming from the public. There appears a need to increase the capacity of your officers in charge of investigations to get more better results, as it were, in the seizure of these illegal weapons, getting them off the streets and getting the people responsible behind bars. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Richie.
Morning, brother.
Richie, you heard the callers. You know, these barrels are coming in. The shipper must have a name and address. The receiver must have a name and address. How is it that nobody's been arrested? Has anybody been arrested, Richie?
21, actually.
Say again?
21 persons have been arrested. A few of them have been charged and brought before the court. Others are pending.
That's for the last one.
Yeah, that's for this current report on the 42.
One.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, what about the one just before that? Was anybody charged?
No.
People were charged and brought before the court?
Not to our knowledge, no.
Okay, so you see, no, that in itself is such an easy case in my brain, my peanut brain. How is it that there's a shipper and a receiver and you cannot arrest anybody? I'd like the police to come and explain that to me. Make that make sense. That there's a shipper and there's a receiver. Make that make sense that you cannot arrest anybody for me, please.
The math not mathing.
These days, say again?
The math not mathing?
The math is not mathing. I mean, and that is where the police are failing. Now, here's where it gets funny in my brain. These guns, where are they from the previous one where nobody was arrested? Are they being held in evidence? Are they at the armory? Because when I get to the armory, let me remind you of a case. I won't mention names, but it's a prominent person who put the the gun of their father at the armory, and later on, that gun was found to have gone out of the armory, shoot somebody, and was repossessed by the police or something like that. So how did the gun leave the safety of the armory, go out in the community and commit murder? Richie, have you heard of that case?
Mm-hmm.
So that means to say that there's a problem with the police holding and being responsible for their own guns. So how is it the police want to be responsible for the guns, all the guns coming in out to the country, when they cannot manage safely their own guns that citizens have given them to hold for them? Make that make sense for me. So you see the kind of work that the police have to do? They have to pull their socks up. Mr. Minister of Security, he should be pressing the police. Don't come and tell the public that we're interfering with the police or whatever words he used. You need to get that armory safe, that when somebody puts a gun there, it doesn't disappear. Because I'm questioning myself. These guns from the previous barrels, where are they? And then if I go a little further, if I start to get into a conspiracy, I start thinking, well, this is a good way for the police to bring in all kinds of weaponry of war. It's a good way. And once they have it in their possession, then they can use it on the citizens. Because no one is accountable for it. No one went to jail for it. Armory, we don't know, we as the public don't know what they're doing with it. The same guns they claim are weapons of war. Where will they end up in 6 months? After the cases are all tried, will they destroy these guns? Will they destroy these guns? Or will they use them on the citizens, these same weapons of war? These are all relevant questions that the Minister of Security needs to answer, and answer truthfully. Thank you.
Enough said. Caller, you're live.
Good morning, Richie.
Morning, brother.
Yes, Tisha in the house. And good morning to the Bay of Dominica. Hey, Richie, I'm listening with what went down, the police and the gun. I'm happy about it, I'm happy about it. I see the police doing the work on the street. I'm also happy about it. It's just that I have some questions over it. The uniforms and so forth, because there are foreigners in the land. And as soon as you enter in the town, you see police with machine guns and military fatigue. It's not looking too good. I look at the Jamaican, the way they go about. Jamaicans have about 3 uniforms for the police officers doing those work. The Martins have about 2. Station have about 2. And I think it sends, every time you see those guys in those uniforms, something is down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something is down. When in the regular uniform, they're just patrolling. When they're in that kind of blue or black, hey, something is on. And it brings a sense of peace. And it encourages people to also assist them. But from this military fatigue and shame, because Richie, I did some research up here. I went to speak to the inspector of police, one from Holland, the Netherlands, because as a pastor up here, I have ties with these guys as one of the young pastors. So I spoke and asked some questions, so Netherlands, Curaçao, Bonnie, and I asked some questions. And one of the things I asked them is concerning the jurisdiction of the custom and the Coast Guard. And I think we should, because the Prime Minister talked about modernization, we should modernize the system. I believe we should do like how this country is, and that's how they get rid of a lot of drugs and guns. The police should be police. Let them deal with the police work on the land. The customs, up here they call it the Dawana. And when you come to St. Martin, you see this guy's marked Dawana on the back of the shirt. These are customs. Yeah. No police cannot come into the airport or in the port and run show. They have to come on those guys' request. You see? No police can come and arrest nobody in the airport. They have to come on the Dawana request if they need assistance or help. The Dawana have the right as the police, just the same power as the police to arrest you in their jurisdiction, in the airport or in the port. The customs have the same power. The Coast Guard is another entity again. The Coast Guard deal on the water, the maritime law. They deal with that. No police is supposed to be Coast Guard out there. The Coast Guard has the jurisdiction, they have the power. So who is watching the Coast Guard? The police. Who is watching the police? The Coast Guard. Who is watching the Douane? So you see, there is no conflict of interest between those ranks. Douane is Douane. Custom is custom. When you have police being custom, there is a conflict of interest. Anything can slip through. I'm not telling you, I'm not using the word allegedly, It does happen because of a conflict of interest. Because a police is in headquarters, you see him shift over to a custom officer. How is that going to be that boundary? Look at in the US, you have the FBI, you have the CIA, you have the regular police. When a crime scene, especially a hijack, the police just say, don't call the FBI yet, because when the FBI comes, the police lose the power. The FBI take over. And that's the way it should be. No conflict of interest. But when you have the police with the prime minister, next thing you see, he is a custom officer. How can we trust that? We cannot trust that. So if he's about modernization, not just only the electoral office needs to be modernized, we need our whole system to be modernized. So Mr. Blackmore, do something, think about it. Let the custom, and that will create more employment because we're going to need more men and women to train for Douaners, Hampton Douane, for custom officers. We're going to need more men and women to train for the ocean, which is the Coast Guard. And the police have enough power, they're going to have enough men power to do their work on land. So while the Douaners, the customs are doing their work, the Coast Guard are doing their work, the police also are doing their work. So there can be a catching up, and there can be a looking up of those investigations. The police could have more time to investigate, and it's a communication. And I tell these guys just bust out of drugs and guns. So Richie, I'm listening, my brother. Dominica, stay strong.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. We thank you for your contribution. So the caller is calling for some more structure within the various departments of security on the island, so as to avoid conflict of interest. By way of an update, just to update you, very soon, the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy will be holding a cannabis symposium. Let me just repeat that. Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy will be holding a cannabis symposium. This is carried for July 9th to the 10th, 2025. Very soon. So for those of you entrepreneurs interested in going into this billion-dollar industry, it appears Dominica is finally making steps toward the cannabis industry. Many persons have told me off air that this should have been done quite a while back. There's actually a Dominican in California, if I'm not mistaken, who has successfully tapped into this billion-dollar industry. And is exporting it to various states and countries around the world. And that's just a raw product. There are also products that come from the cannabis plant through agro processing. Still, that's the latest development from the Ministry of Agriculture at this time. So let's take this call. Caller, you're live.
Good morning, Brother Richie.
Good morning.
I really don't want to step on toes of the criminal justice system. In other words, the news is always about the individual who has been found with an illegal firearm. The police do their search, their traffic stops. They find me with an illegal firearm. I'm brought before the magistrate. I have never ever heard the news media or the police department tell us, and that individual who was charged, how did he get the illegal firearm? Who was his seller? Aren't you interested in the seller? Because you need to trace, how did I get that illegal firearm?
Very true.
Isn't that much more important than the receiver? Isn't the seller also to be charged? And the seller was found to have another 20 of them at his home to be sold in the future to different buyers. That's what is raising my eyebrow this morning. That somehow there's a blackout on the sellers.
It's almost as if they're getting a free pass.
We can only assume such a situation because we never hear the news released on DBS, on Q, on Kyrie, anywhere that the police traced it to a source where that individual purchased or received his illegal firearm. Because that seems to be very, very important to nail that flaw in the system. Have a blessed day, my brother.
Have a blessed day as well. Good morning, caller. You're live.
Just quickly, having to do with the Mont Daniel and the gentleman that was on his working hours.
Yes.
With his uniform, Richie?
He had his uniform on. He just dropped off his clients and he was just driving to the exit. Bless it.
You remember Oliver Walsh and the Honorable Lennox Linton were driving in Mont Daniel. And police in military fatigue and the battlefield weapon arrested Oliver Walsh. Or Danny Luge. Danny
Luge. He won the case actually on that.
Huh?
I believe the latest development in the courts is that the court favored Danny's argument.
And then what?
He was awarded some compensation.
Okay. So when you have a prime minister of a country or any politician that paranoid, my brother, to just be living in a residential area. You're not living in an isolated or exclusive zone. You are living in a populated area, residential area with several people living. So you see people driving around and you attack dogs, just attacking them and arresting them, charging at them. What you doing here? My brother, in conclusion, I want to say, I've heard it and I added something to it. Coming events cast the shadows before them. When the events are upon you, how can you be preoccupied looking for shadows, Richie? If coming events, I have heard it, coming events cast the shadows before them. But when the events are upon you, how can you be preoccupied looking for shadows? We in a full-fledged dictatorship. You have a few criminals in the country, in high places, manipulating every system of governance. And they want to come and tell you, you must obey. You must obey. Listen to what I say. Richie, there are things I cannot say on the radio, but Richie, at the level of criminal activity, even with the barrel, a first barrel came, a second barrel came, custom could set up their surveillance on the port and to find out who coming to claim the barrel or maybe wanting to come and burglarize the place where it is housed on the port. Set up your cameras, your sting operation, police and custom collaborating. Police just come and kick custom. And they take the first barrel of guns and they went. A second barrel of gun came and they went. A question, Richie. Could it be? Could it be? It's a question, Blackmore. Is the government that are bringing in the guns under false pretense? Because I heard they have Navy SEALs and snipers. Thank you, sir.
Yes, blessings. Thank you for that contribution. Yes, again, I found it strange. And after speaking with Matt yesterday evening, I just, reading this this small letter, if you will, from the anonymous individual, it's a little troubling. It's borderlining police brutality. That's I don't think we want to condone that in Dominica. Morning, caller, you're live.
Good morning, Mr. Farrell.
Morning.
How are you today?
Doing good, thanks God.
My name is Edincott Peter Senval. I am a former police officer. I served 17 years and 5 months, and I attained the rank of sergeant. While there, I would like to say pleasant good morning to my mentor, Mr. Clement Corrier, a former police officer from Mont Daniel. Now, I'm telling you that to say the success of any police force is dependent on the civilians, on the population. And if the people not trusting you, you cannot be successful. I heard two of your colors talk on the matter of trust.
Yes.
Let me give you a little story. I want to be as brief as possible. I was transferred to work in St. Joseph. And then the day I went to St. Joseph, the night before, there was a body was found somewhere on Grand Savannah in a car, dead. We suspected it was murder. And Corrier tell me, Senval, you will investigate that one. I will help you. I know you never work in CID, but I would help you. And several people were taken into custody. And then a lady who used to work at the hospital in Dominica, her parents was originally from St. Kitts. So she left Dominica and went to St. Kitts and she got a job there. And somebody, a woman, an American, confessed to her that she was the one who killed the guy. And that lady went to the police station in Bastia, gave a statement, the police forwarded to Dominica. No, by that time the murderer had fled, so nothing could be done. I tell you all that to tell you is because of the trust, the relationship she had with the police in Dominica, while even when she was in St. Kitts, she still felt obligated to assist the police. Now, we have heard a woman was on the radio that went viral, say a former minister took her to the freshwater lake, beat her, intimidated her with a firearm, put the firearm on her, said he will kill her and kill himself. Nothing happened, come out of that. We heard a senior minister confirm what the lady was saying. And instead of the investigating the minister, the senior minister wished that the lady commit suicide. And she said, the entire cabinet is behind that minister, including women who were in the cabinet. When things like that happen, how can the people trust you? Some of your colleagues talk about the Troxy matter. I don't like criminals. Troxy is a damn criminal and he should face justice. But there is something you call due process. How can the state apparatus, people high in government, both in Antigua and Dominica, get involved in kidnapping and senior police officers in Dominica were involved. Our Coast Guard state apparatus transported Choxy from the yacht he came in to Cabrit. You expect the people to trust you and to cooperate with the police, give the police information on the guns that came, as they say, guns came in barrel twice. Is it the police you have to commend or custom? Me, I would commend the custom officers, because it's the custom officers who call in the police and then they're supposed to work together. But nothing is being done. Nobody's being charged. I remember the first time Carbon was commissioner of police, and he said, we know who we are looking for. Up to now, nothing was done. As aren't those goods manifested, isn't there an agent who is responsible for the goods who come in custom? I never heard that the broker was questioned or charged or something like that. So we must stop this hypocrisy. The Minister of National Security, the Prime Minister, and all of them. And finally, as Blessing said, hey, good morning, family. I hope you're keeping all right. As Blessing said, mentioned about a senior counsel and the Prime Minister, what they conspire to do with Clinton. And you know something Blessing didn't mention? The Prime Minister confirmed, that he committed the crime. Then he said, yes, it's he who gave Anthony Astafan the permission to reveal his secret thing to IPO to the public. And the Prime Minister wasn't charged, Astafan wasn't charged, and you're charging the local man on the road, the 2x4 man on the road, or whatever I call you, and you expect the public to cooperate with you. Good morning, Mr. Ferrer, and other present.
Good morning, Mr. St. Val. Pleasure having you at this time. Dominica, it is 9:53 in the morning. I'll say good morning to Edno. Good morning to Robin as well. Boy, oh boy. I can see why Matt calls this the hot seat. And of course, a lot of concerns brought up to the Minister of National Security and the hierarchy of our police force here. A serious call for upgrading the structure of the police force, increasing capacity in investigative strategies, and creating some strong boundaries among the various divisions of the police force to avoid conflict of interest. Many of the callers appear to be very fair in their statements, where they acknowledge the work done in recent times and commend the officers currently for their seizure, and the Customs Division for their seizure of some 42 illegal firearms and an additional 7. So we could say 49. But there's need for improvement. Very soon I will be leaving to attend to some matters for the midday news package. I'm sure you understand. I'll leave you with some easy listening music. But let's take 2 more calls. Caller, you're live.
Hi again, Richie. Richie, I never knew that Mont Daniel was a gated community.
Yes. It's not, but I mean, the question is being asked by this person, and you can understand why. This is.
I know it's not, because I live in gated community in the States. Because when you're in a gated community, You have to have the pass. When you come out of the gate, you have to have the password for the gate.
Yeah, they felt
For you
harassed.
to know what your address and everything you go into should be on that. So to enter the compound.
Yeah.
What we know, Mont Daniel to be area where once you have your money, you buy a piece of property, you build your house.
Yeah.
We never, if you have to live in a gated area, then you you build your gate and you surround yourself in your building. Then somebody come inside your compound is something else. But if the person on the road, you can't tell them nothing.
And that's a shocking thing. I mean, the way he's saying he's just doing his work. He didn't go on any property. He dropped off the clients. There were multiple people on the bus. He dropped them off. He's in his work uniform. He's driving out. Everybody knows the exit to from Mont Daniel, and he's being pulled over by high level security officers and being asked forcefully, "What you do in Mont Daniel?"
That is laughable. So here we are now. We live in a king's paradise in Mont Daniel now, man.
I mean,
Trump was trying to have a king festival on Saturday. It failed.
I mean, we could be diplomatic, blue, but even if you try to be diplomatic in this situation, it's just suspect. It sounds it smells a little fishy there. You know, it's borderlining police brutality there. I think we're
that is real police brutality. You can't pull the person for driving on the road.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous.
Going to do his job and going to ask him what he doing there. No, that's harassment.
So that's why he's asking, is this a gated community? Am I on private property? He was asking us that, you know.
Then you can ask him, what am I doing on your on that property? Are you living in that house? What are you doing there? Why are you trying to open the gate? Why? But I driving on the road and for you to do that is real harassment. Tomorrow I have a case of harassment to talk about. I hope I get a break to talk about it. Bye bye.
Yes, Blue, and we wish you all the best on that case. Dominica, that's it for me. Talk on the Block is going to be a bit explosive today. Of course, we have some topics to cover. And just to give you a little taste, one of the issues we plan to discuss is, in fact, this caving in of what appears to be the roofing structure of the Dominica Grammar School. You can imagine that many things could have gone wrong, more wrong than just the caving in of that building. What if the majority of workers were actually located directly under that part that caved in? What if, and this is a big one, the building was completed, handing over ceremony held, everyone in suits and ties, shaking hands, smiles all around. The principal handed the keys to the institution. First day of school commences. And God forbid, oh boy, that at such a time this were to happen. I can tell you this, heads would roll. All right, that's it for me. Until 1 p.m. We'll talk soon.
Introducing the new Caribbean paint from Do It Center. Durant paint and wall covering from Do It Best quality paint, giving you the same great interior and exterior quality, the same color matching technology, at an incredible price. Available in black, satin, and semi-gloss. Visit us on Google Road or call our paint department at 255-6896. Do It Center, your partner in home improvements. Introducing the new Caribbean paint from Do It Center. Durant paint and wall covering from Do It Best quality paint, giving you the same great interior and exterior quality, the same color matching technology, at an incredible price. Available in black, satin, and semi-gloss. Visit us on Google Road or call our paint department at 255-6896. Do It Center, your partner in home improvements.
After working hard for many years in London, Goldwyn is now retired and back living in Dominica enjoying his pension. He toujours got smiles so we can see the gold teeth and toujours young. I met him coming out of Flosses with the help of some staff carrying different foods, drinks, and meats to his vehicle. Myself too fast to go and ask the man what's up. Is their story start? Après moi fini travail ouais, so le kadimo descend Dominic pour finir la hamwe. I said, Goldwyn, speak in English, don't force it. Then he said, I shop with intelligence, yeah? At Flosses, you get the most reasonable prices. Quarter bag flour, rice, sugar, milk, beers, soft drinks, water, rum, and so much more. Prices and quantities to fit your needs, mate. Because you just come down and want to tell me what I know about Flosses already. That's where I shop. It's not you alone that want to save money but still get the quality goods. That's right. And if you're listening to this ad, go and check out Flosses for yourself. Next to the Rosal Market, you can't miss it.
Now opened on Sunday.
Cause I'm on my way. KFC delivery is here. Just place your order at www.kfcdominica.com, Facebook or WhatsApp at 614-2633 and your order will be delivered to you. KFC, it's good. Cause I'm on my way.
Free loans for your every need. Cards have you covered, best believe. Cards ready cash, it's for everyone. Not to worry, fast approval. Hurry up and come. We got it all, we on the go. Cards ready cash, you already know. We got it all, we on the go. Cards ready cash, always ready when you're ready, let's go.
Cards ready cash, ready when you are.
I see Goldwyn shopping for farming supplies, so I ask him, what are you doing inside Bloombox? Do you have a farm? He tell me, that's how tell sort. I've been married 37 years, look at my money farm. He said, no, not woman, like land for farming crops. And then you understand, Bloombox is the most affordable on island. Knapsacks starting at only $57.71. Elsewhere, it's $300 plus. Cutlass seeds, seeding trays, nursery pots, sales of potting mix, all at way better prices than anywhere else. Fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill, second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Rosal. Bloombox, let's bloom together.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beating every soul. I'm feeling we can hide. It's pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spot. There's nothing that sets us apart. Who we are, the rhythm that keeps bumping. Together going strong, no matter what we keep them going. Before we move on, it's up in the sky. Celebrate and come at your rhythm flow. Come let your rhythm flow. Come let your rhythm flow.
There's smooth.
And then there's Guinness Smooth.
It's a brand new cool.
Incredibly smooth.
Perfectly balanced.
For a smooth and refreshing taste.
How smooth? Well smooth. Guinness Smooth.
For a smooth and refreshing taste,
New Guinness Smooth. Must be 18 years or older. Drink responsibly. Socialize responsibly.
Locally distributed by Belfast Estate Limited.
Set sail this summer. Compliments of Going Places Travel. Win 2 ferry tickets to your choice of St. Lucia, Guadeloupe, or Martinique. Book any flight or cruise from June 9th to July 31, and you're automatically entered. Call 448-2550 or visit our office today.
We are Going Places Travel. We're the travel experts. Caribbean's largest travel agency.
Come into any of our offices or visit us at goingplacestravel.com.
Mouvement Créole à Soukir. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité pour études créole Dominique. Et puis Radio QFM qui présenté. Mouvement Créole. Tous les mardis soirs, entre 6 et après-midi. Information, blague, interview, l'histoire, problème, discussion, reportage, apprendre à parler et puis écrit créole. Lien avec ton peuple créole. Bon musique créole. Mouvement créole. À nous faire un rendez-vous, messieurs, mesdames, tous les mardis soirs. QFM qui est frappé avec bon parole créole. Sans ça participer, qui est nous? Rapidement, Timamaïla. Mouvement créole à seconde station QFM. Voici avec nous tous les mardis soirs 6h pour Mouvement créole. Matchez ça.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beats in every soul. I'm feeling we can. Now your time pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in our we talk. It's in the meaning in our spot. There's nothing that sets us apart. Who we are, the rhythm of these body pain. Together going strong, no matter what we keep them going. Before we move on, hands up in the sky, celebrate and come at your rhythm flow, 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 flow. Come let your rhythm flow. Come let your rhythm flow.
AutoTrade is introducing our very own mobile app. Yes, the AutoTrade app is here. From scheduling your service appointments, request financing, checking our vehicle and parts inventory, to receiving personalized coupons and sales specials. Life is so much easier with the new AutoTrade app. Download the AutoTrade app from the Play Store